The Big Small Business Show, proudly sponsored by MTN Business.
Welcome to the Big Small Business Show, the show for all our wonderful entrepreneurs out there. And today we've got, I think, a really special program because we are talking to some entrepreneurs that started a business, can I say a little later in their lives? They are Anneke and Daniel Malan. They have sort of been in the entrepreneurial space, in the corporate space, in the design space, and they took all that knowledge and experience and used it to start a business. Let's take a look.
I'm Anneke Malan. This is my husband, Daniel Malan. We started the business Herbi Vōhr. At Herbi Vōhr, we make plant-based meat products to make it easier for people to transition from a meat-eating diet to a non-meat-eating diet. The main ingredient is seitan, which is wheat protein. It is a very good ingredient to work with because of its texture. And here at Fresh Earth, for example, it is used in the Fresh Earth breakfast. These are our bangers, our classic bangers. This is scrambled tofu. There are no animal products in this dish. This is our prego steak that is used in the prego roll that you can also get at Fresh Earth.
What actually led me to develop the products was when Anneke went vegan, this was about 12, 13 years ago, I was worried about her protein, and I went on the internet and looked up protein for vegans, and I came across seitan. I then started making burgers and things like that, and we went to a market in Johannesburg, a vegan market, and we were selling at the market, and that's how it happened.
The products were so well received that we remained at the market, and Daniel was developing more and more products. And it was very good for us because we got feedback from the people who bought from us. So while we were still going to the markets, we were encouraged by our customers to also go into very organic type restaurants like Jackson's Real Food Market and Fresh Earth, where we are now. And that's how we started getting into shops. And pretty soon after that, we realized we would have to register the business, and we started employing more people. We actually started out at the house in rooms we had at the back, and then about 5 years ago, we moved to our present premises where we have a little factory. We decided that the best outlets for us were individually owned groceries. So that is why we've been focusing on spas, because they tend to be individually owned. We don't have the production capacity to supply immediately. We could eventually.
We have seen a lot of small companies come up, and then they all aiming to go into the big chains, and a lot of them have got burnt, and we are very wary of developing too quickly out of our comfort zone.
We basically supply spas, and we also have an online shop, and we have a number of health shops that we supply. We do have outlets in most of the provinces, but mostly in Gauteng. We do deliver anywhere in the country within a few days. We have a few distributors. We have one on the Garden Route in Knysna. who is actually the person approaching stores and eateries on the garden route. And we also have a supplier in Namibia and one in Botswana.
One in Zambia as well.
One in Zambia. So we do export to a few local African neighbors in Southern Africa.
I'd been in business before, and I hated accounts. So because when I closed the design studio, I found that the accounts came back to bite me afterwards, and I didn't want to have accounts again. We still don't have accounts. We buy everything up front. We pay cash for everything, and we don't have a single account. And the problem is that a lot of people pay us 30 days. We try and keep it to COD or 7 days, but there's some places that won't do that, and they pay us on 30 days. So therefore, we've got a cash flow problem.
This cash flow problem is a big one. We don't quite know how to handle it because, as Daniel says, we really don't want to start opening accounts, but it would be amazing if we could just have a little bit more of a cushion, because at the moment it's basically what comes in goes out.
So, welcome to the Big Small Business Show.
Thanks very much.
Thanks for having us.
So, when did you start the business?
We started it about 7 years ago, so that would make it 2017.
Yeah, it was about 2017.
Yeah.
And why did you start it?
Anneke went vegan about 12 years ago, and I was worried about a protein, and I researched non-meat meat substitutes and came across seitan on the internet, on YouTube, and I started making it for her, and then friends were wanting some of the products, and then the demand started growing from there.
You were previously in a business, is that right?
Pardon me?
You were previously in a business.
I've been self-employed all my life.
Okay. And what's different in this business to the other businesses?
Well, I was doing design, and I was just had enough of it, and I then started doing sculpture, and had some galleries show my work. And when the business started growing in a small way, I then decided to give up the sculpture because I was more interested in the food, and I'm passionate about the environment and what we're doing to the planet, and I thought this was a good way to invest my interest in what I was really wanting to support, which is veganism.
And I understand this is sort of a real family business. The logo was designed by your daughter.
Unfortunately, I can't claim to be her mother, but I do pretend sometimes that she's my daughter. Mm-hmm. She's a very good friend of mine's daughter, namely his ex. Mm-hmm. But she is a wonderful designer. She's a professional industrial designer. Her name is Herbi Malan.
Okay, and she designed the logo.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And she came up with a name as well.
Okay, and what is, I get the Herbi Vōhr thing, but what is the whole thing with the VOHR?
It's the phonetic way of pronouncing it. She got it in the dictionary.
Okay.
Yeah, but the little stroke on the on the O is what she introduced, just to give it a different, besides a different spelling, give it a different look as well.
Well, we're going to take a break now. When we come back, I'm going to have more questions for Anneke and Daniel. Stay tuned.